All right. Welcome to the Space and Rocket Review, slightly behind schedule. YouTube chats. Tell your friends. Space and Rocket Review. DEJ's Space and Rocket Review. One night only. 5 nights a week. Space and Rocket Review. How's everybody doing? I'm EJ, your host of the Space and Rocket Review, the only host of the Space and Rocket Review. Because it's just me. It's just me, Gabe Newell. All right, it is Veterans Day, November 11th, 2024, and I got a little bit of news here. Monday. Got a little bit of news here. It's a couple of interesting things here and there. A couple bits and pieces. But yeah, welcome. Let's jump into it. So, let's go over in the chat here. This is your space news. Very nice. Yes, yes, yes. Titan isn't your co-host. Not right now, at least. He's sometimes, yeah. So it's not just only me. It is me and Doug. These might be 2 stories for space. X59 news. Ah, yes. Yeah, yes. He's facing the wrong way. All the screens are behind him. It's because I'm coming to you. All right, fine. I mean, if you wanted me to do the whole thing like this, I will. I'll do it if you want. Yeah, this is nice. Oh, yeah, I like that. That's pretty cool. You see that? That's pretty neat. That's pretty good, too. You know, the Wigglies. The Wigglies are pretty cool. The booster catch, though. That's pretty neat. Okay, I've decided I don't want to do that anymore. A Phil Sloss article from the other day. All right. All righty. Phil Sloss. Schlil Floss. Floss. Okay. You're a little bit sick? Yeah, I'm a little sick. But, you know, I'm getting over it. Should be over it soon. I'm just going to, yeah, we'll get through our space news and then we'll go from there. All right, let me try to get through the quick news here. Let me try to keep the quickness. And leave the longer stuff at the end. Are you down with the Cygnus? Yes, yes, I am. Okay. Okay. Lots of videos of Starlink 4682 reentry over the past couple of days. Ah, I like that article, Think Like. Maybe we should start with that. The BBC article. Someone moved the UK's oldest satellite and no one knows who or why. Atmospheric perturbations and orbital perturbations happen all the time. Someone moved the UK's oldest satellite, and there appears to be no record of exactly who, when, or why. Launched in 1969, just a few months after humans set foot on the moon, Skynet 1A was put high above Africa's east coast to relay communications for British forces. When the spacecraft ceased working a few years later, gravity may have been expected to pull it even further east out over the Indian Ocean. But today, curiously, Skynet 1A is actually half a planet away in a position 22,369 miles above the Americas. Orbital mechanics mean it's unlikely the half-ton military... Tunny. Oh, yes, the half-tunny. It's BBC, after all. Military spacecraft simply drifted to its current locations. Orbital mechanics mean it's unlikely that the half-ton military spacecraft simply drifted to its current location. Oh, is that so? Almost certainly, it was commanded to fire its thrusters in the mid-1970s to take it westwards. The question is who that was and with what authority and purpose. It's intriguing that key information about a once vital national security asset can just evaporate. But fascination aside, you might also reasonably ask why it still matters. After all, we're talking about some discarded space junk from 50 years ago. It's still relevant because whoever did move Skynet 1A did us a few favors. It's in now what we call a gravity well at 105... Oh, jeez. It's now in what we call a gravity well at 105 degrees west longitude, wandering backwards and forwards like a marble at the bottom of a bowl. And unfortunately, this brings it close to other satellite traffic on a regular basis. Because it's dead, the risk is it might bump into something, and that's because it's our satellite, we're still responsible for it. It's in geo, Ellisers. The way the article explains it seems like it traveled 22,000 miles for no reason. It's in geo. Dr. Eves has looked through old satellite catalogs, the National Archives, and spoken to satellite experts worldwide, but he can find no clues to the end-of-life behavior of Britain's oldest spacecraft. It might be tempting to reach for a conspiracy theory or two, not least because it's hard to hear the name Skynet without thinking of the malevolent, self-aware artificial intelligence system in the Terminator movie franchise. But there's no connection other than the name, and in any case, real life is always more prosaic. What we do know is that Skynet 1A was manufactured in the U.S. by the now-defunct Philco Ford Aerospace Company. Yes, it's that Ford. Yeah, Ford Motor Company owned Philco. Yep. And it was put in space by a U.S. Air Force Delta rocket.
Discovery,
hey, Mighty Morph. Thanks for all the great content helping you learn new things. No problem. First Skynet satellite revolutionized UK telecommunications capacity, permitting London to securely communicate with British forces as far away as Singapore. However, from a technological standpoint, Skynet 1A was more American than British since the United States both built and launched it. I remember Dr. Aaron Bateman in a recent paper on the history of the Skynet program, which is now on its 5th generation. This view is confirmed by Dr. Graham Davidson, who flew Skynet 1A in the early 70s from its UK operations center at RAF Oakhanger in Hampshire. What is it, a fighter jet now? The Americans originally controlled the satellite in orbit. They tested all of our software against theirs before they eventually handing over control to the RAF, the long-retired engineer told me. In essence, there was dual control, but when or why Skynet 1A might have been handed back to the Americans, which seemed likely, I'm afraid I can't remember. Rachel Hill, a PhD student from the University College London, has also been scouring the National Archives. Her readings have led to one very reasonable possibility. A Skynet team from Oakhanger would go to the USAF satellite test facility in Sunnyvale, colloquially known as the Blue Cube, and operate Skynet during Oakout. This was when control was temporarily transferred to the US while Oakhanger was down for essential maintenance. Perhaps the move could have happened then. The official, though incomplete logs of Skynet 1A's status suggest final commanding was left in the hands of the Americans when Oakhanger lost signal of the satellite in June of 1977. But however, Skynet 1A then got shifted to its present position. It was ultimately allowed to die in an awkward place when, really, it should have been put in an orbital graveyard. This refers to a region even higher in the sky where old space junk runs zero risk of running into active telecommunications satellites. That's correct. Yep. Graveyarding is now standard practice, but back in the 1970s, no one gave much thought to space sustainability. Attitudes have since changed because the space domain is getting congested. At 105 degrees west longitude, an active satellite might see a piece of junk come within 50 kilometers of its position up to 4 times a day. That might sound like they're nowhere near each other, but at the velocity these defunct objects move at, it's starting to get a little too close for comfort. There's relative velocity and then there's orbital velocity, but whatever. It's not a big deal. Ministry of Defense said Skynet 1A was constantly monitored by the UK's National Space Operations Centre. Other satellite operators are informed if there's likely to be a particularly close conjunction in case they need to take evasive action. Ultimately, though, the British government may have to think about removing the old satellite to a safer location. Technologies are being developed to grab space junk left in space. Yeah, Northrop Grumman's working on them. Already, the UK Space Agency is funding efforts to do this at lower altitudes, and the Americans and the Chinese have shown it's possible to snare aging hardware even in the kind of high orbit occupied by Skynet 1A. Pieces of space junk are like ticking time bombs, observed Moriba Jha, a professor of aerospace engineering at University of Texas at Austin. That's right. Yep. We need to avoid what I call super spreader events. That's correct. When these things explode or something collides with them, it generates thousands of pieces of debris that then become a hazard to something else that we care about. Yep, that's correct. Interesting. In terms of what moved it, my guess is that the disposal burn because there was no set standard for disposal burns, probably put it in a type of eccentric orbit that eventually allowed it to get caught over there. That's my guess. Yeah, it's interesting that they call them gravity pools. These things happen because of the Earth's non-uniform center of gravity. It's these non-uniform gravitational forces that cause what's called precession on satellites. The way they described it here is a little bit strange, but yeah, that's interesting. But yeah, that's orbital mechanics, guys. You know, they say at the beginning of the article, oh, orbital, there's no way this happened from orbital mechanics. And then went on to explain how it could have happened with orbital mechanics. I don't know, Bill. I have no idea. Interesting. Yeah, interesting weather guy. Here, look at this, guys. Look at stuffing. You guys like stuffing? Stuffing space? Yep, there it is. Interesting slot. Changing eccentricity resulted in a different orbital period, and it would have kept processing around LSRs until it got caught in these grav pools that they're talking about. Jonathan McDowell's a space junk nerd. He should have more information about it. Yeah. You know the crazy thing, Karina? I don't live that far away from him. He works in Cambridge. I do not live far away from Cambridge. I grew up even closer to Cambridge. It's about 40 minutes away. An hour and a half if there's traffic. It's Boston. What do you want? Anyway, cool. That was an interesting thing to start off with. Neat. check this out. This next bid is coming from Space News here. Astranis partners with Zona Space for U.S. military GPS backup program. Astranis actually got a huge contract with the Department of Defense of building the next generation global positioning system, satellite system, or RGPS, Resilient Global Positioning Program. This was actually this was news last week. I did talk about this a little bit, but yeah, Astranis nailed it. Got a huge contract. California-based Astranis, which builds small geostationary satellites for internet connectivity, secured an $8 million contract for the initial design of the RGPS program. Very, very cool. The RGPS envisions a fleet of proliferated small satellites capable of transmitting GPS signals, creating a layer of redundancy within the broader global positioning satellite infrastructure. This program could expand to as many as 24 satellites, each projected to cost between 50 and 80 million a pop. Wow, Astranis just nailed it. That's a huge contract, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Super cool. Now, on to something completely different. I hope that's not copywritten music. Cosmo Leap released this. I'm not really 100% sure what they're trying to accomplish with that, but all right. Timu Mechazilla. No, it's a copy of copywritten music. Oh, yeah. Timu Mechazilla. Yeah, I'm not. I think this is just a prototype, guys. It seems to be in an office park or something. Yeah, there. Yeah, I wonder where they got that idea. Yeah, so there's your bit of news there for the Chinese space program. Oh boy, it's interesting how long the arms are. Isn't SpaceX going with shorter ones on the next build? Yes. You could expect it to catch something soonish. I get it. Can we get the SpongeBob? Imagination. Sure. Sure. All right, here, next bit of news. This is coming from Harry Stranger here. NASA and Allpoints have submitted a draft environmental assessment for the construction of a space prep complex at Kennedy Space Center that would include a spacecraft processing center and a spaceport logistics center. Really? For what? The project, proposed to begin construction in 2025 and be complete in 2027, aims to support commercial, civil, and national defense customers. Okay, how vague. The proposed action would support construction and operation of a new large multi-payload hazardous processing facility called the Space Prep KSC Complex. This complex would include a hazardous spacecraft processing center, as well as an associated spaceport logistics center. For future commercial, civil, and national defense customers, the location would be within the Schwartz Road property area in the VAB district. South developable area, developable. This headache is getting worse. South developable area of KSC, of the KSC 2020 Vision Plan Spaceport Growth Boundary. Another competitor to L3 Harrison, Astrotech. Yep. All right, well, let's see if we can kind of take a peep as to where this is going on. It would include an ops control center and a bunch of other things. Developers. Schwartz Road. We will look for the Schwartz. Click. I think Schwartz is down here. There's Contractor Road, Instrumentation Road. Ah, no, the Schwartz. So my guess is that it's probably going somewhere here. There's the Schwartz. Yeah, that looks like... I don't know. I don't know what that is. It looks like they're grading something there. Could be right there. Who knows? Might be important. See, I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know what this building is used for. I have no idea. I don't remember. It was explained to me at one point. I don't know what that one does. What's in the back? Yep. Nope. Don't remember. Did they store cards for Jay Leno? What? No. I don't think so. Well, 1994. It was something supporting the shuttle program. Let's see. Let's see what happens when 2011 rolls around. Yeah. 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 Okay. Something supporting the shuttle program. They have a partnership with Sierra Space to be their preferred payload processor. Cool. Cool. Yeah, so this was something that was used during the shuttle program. Maybe upper stage processing or something. I don't know. Note how the parking lot is full all the way up until 2011. What time will it be at the Indian Ocean when Starship lands, Bren? Early morning, actually. Maybe something ET processing. Well, Creeper, I don't think it would be external tank processing. You're not near the turning basin, and I don't see any heavy infrastructure to suggest that you'd bring an external tank all the way down here. This is some auxiliary thing on the shuttle. I don't know what it is. Maybe it could... If I had to guess, dude, looking at those things, it has something to do with SRB processing. If I had to put my finger on it, it's probably processing our SRB casings, reusable solid rocket booster casings. If I had to guess, because what is it near? If we go down here a little ways, what's it near? It's near the trains. And there's a gantry crane right there for loading the train up with SRB casings to get out of here, to send them back to Ogden. That's my guess. Also, there's pedestals right there that look like they're 3.7 meters in diameter. There's a bunch of pedestals back there that look like SRB casing holders. Just a guess. Who knows? Anyway, more expansion at the Cape is good. Oh, and there you go. There's your project location. Cool. Neat. Damn. Look at the expansion plans for the SLF. That is absolutely absurd. Look at that. SLS boosters are not reusable, so you wouldn't need a reusable SRB processing area. I'm actually curious to see if they have the grading for all that. Yeah, they've started grading all of it. This is a space shuttle landing facility. They're adding developable area down here like you would not believe. So you can see they already started. They're, you know, trying to get people to use this to launch stuff into space. Trying. What's the route used to recover boosters back to land? Which boosters? It's the BFF building, Joker? BFF building? What does that mean? Dream Chaser is going to land at KSC. CSLR. Yeah. Yeah, their target, that facility that we covered in the articles is right here. Is going to go right there. SpaceX be like, I'll just catch it with Mechazilla. Best friends forever. Ring. All right. Cool. This is a competitor to spacecraft prepping operations. Like the spacecraft processing is actually a pretty lucrative field, which is pretty cool. Neat. Good to see infrastructure expanding at the Cape. All right, this next thing is coming from Zonpost. I'm not familiar with this user, but Kathy Leaders for SpaceX did do a little bit of a thing over in Mexico over the weekend where they talk about Starship. Tons of new info in Kathy Leaders' presentation at CONUS's. If the next flight goes well, SpaceX intends to recover Starship in the next 6 months. Elon aims to have 25 launches in 2025. Very cool. Booster fabrication facility. Thanks, Joker. Booster fabrication facility. Joker, what do you mean fabricated? Were they making casings in there? Hey, James. Howdy, EJ. This is basically the only place I can call chat. Basically the only place you can chat. Oh, okay. Hello. Annie, how do they get back to being reused? Well, the SRBs were towed in via ships. The SRBs just float. And they just put a rope around them and tow them in. Every reused booster, SRB Falcon 9, comes in through Port Canaveral. Now, at Port Canaveral, this picture is super old. This picture is probably 10 years old. This is what it looks like now. There's a huge gangway right here. And they use that to bring in boosters and stuff. Blue Origin and SpaceX both have their recovering systems here at this dock. Yeah, SpaceX has the, you could tell SpaceX is there because of the way it is. This is also where SpaceX's fleet was moored. They now moor them over here on this port. I'm not using the right terms. NASA's booster fabrication facility. No, let me read about that. So, yeah, they're all brought in through the port. BFF is a 45-acre site at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida near the VAB and the Mobile Launcher Site. Northrop Grumman lead contractor for boosters, and NASA engineers use the facility to refurbish, manufacture, and assemble the aft skirt assembly and forward skirt assembly for the twin solid rocket boosters. Okay, there you go. Cool. Well, that answers that question. Like I said, I think we got that right. SRB. Do we think Flight 6 will go well? Yeah, I do. Sure. Absolutely. Well, that's cool. Elon wants to have 25 launches in 2025. I don't know if they're going to get 25 launches, but I think they'll get close. If you could have a moon base in 3 years and people on Mars in 6 years, would you give up SLFs if that was required? Yeah, I guess. Sure. If we had a system that was capable of doing that, and I reviewed the systems engineering on that system myself, sure. Not that my judgment matters. I just want to know. They have, what, 4 boosters in one ship right now? I think they're ramping CSLR. Ryan Weber over at NSF and I talked about this on Flame Trench on Friday. Ryan doesn't think it's going to take, he thinks it's going to take them a little bit of time to ramp. I don't think so. I think we're going to see the floodgates open in the next couple of months. I don't think it takes them as long of time to ramp. The reason why, and we didn't really get to discuss this a lot, but, once again, I'm not saying Ryan is wrong. He, if anything, proposes a very realistic timeline for this stuff. Anyway, Ryan, if you're watching, what's up, dude? You don't think they removed too much of the Ship 31 heat shield? I'm worried it will survive. We'll get more to that in a second, Brent. Yeah, David, I think, yeah, like I said, I don't know if they're going to hit 25, but I think they're going to get close. If you're reusing boosters, it just becomes a ship manufacturing problem, which I think is easily solvable. You know, Elon knows somebody that can help with that regulatory approval, I think. I think that would be a fair assessment. David, yeah, good stuff. I think they'll ramp up a lot quicker. Guys, you got to understand that's, I think, you guys know, you know how, like, what's the right way to say this? You know how, like, in the 1960s, like the 1960s aerospace industry could just seemingly just poop out W after W after W after W? Like, the aerospace industry in the 60s and the 70s could just do whatever. Like, if they wanted to make a plane that flew into space, they could do that. Yeah, sure. All right, no problem. You want to send something to the moon? Sure, no problem. All right. You want F-15, you want to make something like an F-15, right? No problem. F-16, no problem. F-14, no problem. Like, it just got to a point where you could just make whatever, right? Boeing just craps out the 747, no big deal, right? Like, I think SpaceX, I think we're seeing a microcosm of that with SpaceX. I think that, we're talking about timelines. Oh, it's going to take a second to ramp up. It's going to take a second to ramp up, blah, 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 blah. You're talking about all that stuff. But also at the same time, I think if SpaceX makes it a priority to ramp Starships, they'll ramp Starships. We'll have a dozen in a couple of months if they choose that as their priority. And once again, I wanted to explain this to Ryan and see what he thought about it, but because Ryan Weber is an A&P, he is a airplane mechanic, so he has a pretty good judgment about this stuff. And I don't mean an A&P that works on Cessnas. He works on airliners, like big airliners. The 747 was a side project for Boeing at the time since their focus was the 2707. Exactly, Matt. There was kind of a point where, any aerospace company in the U.S. could just crap stuff out like the Space Shuttle or the 747 or the Saturn V, right? Like nothing we couldn't do. I think SpaceX is at that point, dude. I think they're at a point where they have enough of an industrial they have enough of an industrial capacity. They have enough of a supply capacity. They have enough of a technical base. And they definitely have the knowledge about this stuff to basically just do whatever. If they want to ramp Starships, They'll ramp starships. It'll happen a lot faster than you think. Just like that booster catch just seemingly came out of nowhere. You guys all got to remember, when Flight 5 was first announced, everybody thought they were nuts for trying to catch a booster on the first try. But here we are, a month after that catch, trying to catch another one. It became, oh, can the booster be caught? To, oh, okay, we got to catch every booster now? Awfully quick. That happened awfully fast. No, I'm just saying that happened really quickly. Okay? They caught a booster? When did that happen? In a week. You know? Right? That happened awfully quick. If SpaceX wants to ramp, they'll ramp. And they'll do it too. This time with more than 1 second margin. Yeah. Diablo. Testing an updated design is the current bottleneck. Why is that a bottleneck? Because of regulatory approval? I'm pretty sure that's not an issue anymore. Against my better judgment, I'm pretty sure that's not an issue anymore. I'm just putting it out there. I don't want to talk about the reasons why that's not a thing anymore, but you could put 2 and 2 together. Part of that history is having dozens of contractors after every government contract. The market isn't that diverse any longer. Well, that's what I mean. I said SpaceX is a microcosm of that, but I think they're at the point where they have the chops to basically do whatever they want. Elon knows people. He does know people. Not to be rude to Ryan, but what does an A&P know about mass manufacturing of aerospace hardware, unless he is in a tech and more in the weeds? Sawyer, he's got well, on top of all that, he's a huge ship nerd. Like, he's a tank watcher, just like we are. He knows what he's talking about, dude. He knows what he's talking about. I think his realism mostly comes from a very, very technician approach to the problem. You know? I think it's fair. I think it's good to get both sides of this equation. Me, no. No, they're going to ramp, but like I said, I could be wrong. He could be wrong. We're kind of just showing, on Flame Trench, we just like to show both sides of the equation. Personally, I'm ever optimistic. I think it's, dude, you see this? Yo, you can do that. If you can do that, you can do anything. I'm not worried, you know? This Elon is faster than you knows. and yeah, and make fun of Yak. Yeah. So NSF just doesn't let any old person on their casts. Most of us are pretty damn well qualified. Yeah. Yeah, and both sides of that equation is great for discussion. Bingo. Exactly. Jack really showed out on the last Flame Trench. I still kind of feel bad. I don't feel bad doing the impression. Doing the impression is funny. I feel bad because my impression of Jack just ended up being Morty. Oh, jeez, guys. Oh, look. I'm the host. I'll wear a kilt. It's fine. I feel bad that is the voice that my brain assigned to Jack. That's not... I feel bad. I feel bad. Like, I don't know why I gave him Morty voice. Oh, jeez. It was funny. It was funny, but... Oh, jeez. If this launch is a nighttime launch, are we going to see the jellyfish effect? It's not a nighttime launch, Magic. No, it's not. It's, they're going to launch in the afternoon. He's going to go full Rick on you. Yeah, I know. Qualification. I play a professional idiot on Twitch. Yeah, that's right. Cool. Anyway, I got a couple of more things here before we keep going about Starship. Couple of good things. Here, check this out. So this is coming from the master of D-Pod Dolphins. Or it's just coming from Ryan. Yeah. Ryan's cool. Here's some interesting screenshots of Slick 6 from the official Finding of No Significant Impact document. I wonder what rocket would require 2 pads for a double return to launch site. If you weren't aware, Space Launch Complex 6 has been handed over to SpaceX following the retirement of ULA's Delta IV Heavy. Oh. Quick, to Lompoc. Boop. The pro of D-Pod Dolphins. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, what do we got here? So, this is Slick 6. X Shuttle and Delta 4 and Athena rocket launch complex. Actually, X Titan 3 Gemini MOL as well. We're going to count all the rockets that were planned to launch here that never freaking did. Anyway. I will give a background on Slick 6 in a second, but yeah, here we go. Crane storage, pedestal, fluids ground service equipment bay, 2 processing stools right there, twin landing pads. What is this one? Existing HIF. Yeah, okay. Oh. Oh. They want to use that to... Oh, that's a weird way of integrating. Would you rather take a ride on Starship or the shuttle? At this particular point in time, Hermiot, I would take the space shuttle. Riding on Starship right now is a death sentence. Riding on the shuttle is maybe a death sentence. I'll take maybe over yes. So they want to... it's very weird. They want to integrate sideways like that. So 2 landing pads at Slick 6, 1 landing pad at Slick 4, so 3 landing pads at Vandenberg. Yep. Ooh. I like that. I like that, building another HIF right there. So guys, a lot of people don't know that this facility here, Slick 6, was originally built as a Titan 3 Gemini manned orbiting laboratory launch complex in the 60s, right? That never happened because the Air Force abandoned the Gemini MOL program in favor of the Apollo program in 1967 because of the Outer Space Treaty saying don't launch military stuff into space. So the pad lay dormant basically throughout the 70s. And then in the 70s, you know, the Air Force decided they wanted to work on the shuttle program, right? The Air Force and NASA wanted to work on the shuttle program together, and they decided to retool Slick 6 into a shuttle launch complex. Here are some pictures of that. And there's a picture of Enterprise getting integrated at Slick 6. See? There we go. Shuttle launch complex with payload change-out room and integration building. This represents a very big difference in pad design compared to LC-39 at the Cape. With this design, you wouldn't have a mobile launcher because you don't need one. You could just build the stack right on the pad and have your buildings move around it because the shuttle is a relatively short vehicle comparatively to like Saturn V. The VAB, I would argue, is overkill for something like that. So they built out this building right here, the one that says USAF on it, which moves back and forth, by the way. So does this one. Both of these buildings move and can kind of close in on each other. So you could build the stack inside, which is where this picture is. There's a picture of Enterprise on the roll right there, and there it is being integrated. Now, simultaneously, because you wouldn't have a rotating service structure at Slick 6, you have a PCR, payload change-out room. Basically, over here is where the satellites and defense payloads that would be launched would get loaded into a payload change-out building. This whole thing, see that whole thing that's like oil rig size right there? That whole thing moves. It's on rails, and believe it or not, it's able to move all the way up to the shuttle stack. It's able to go inside of this building. It's able to fit inside of here and load a payload, spy satellite, into the shuttle's payload bay. There it is moving inside of the integration buildings, right? That looks USAF. What's up, Will? So they built out this whole ridiculous launch complex to the tune of about $2 billion in the early 80s. And the pad basically was 100% operational. It completed fit checks and was ready to go. for flight readiness firing in 1986. Oops. Challenger happened. Air Force pulled out of the program, built a multi-billion-dollar shuttle pad, and then never used it. Because, you know. Part of that construction, was building out, because Discovery, the orbiter Discovery, was supposed to be handed over to the Air Force in early 1986. Part of that was building a orbiter processing facility, which is this, an OPF for Discovery. That building right there, there's an OPF. And the shuttle, after going to the OPF, could be towed on this road right here, over in line. Actually, it would go here and drive in this way on a very special shuttle transporter, a very specially designed shuttle transporter from Kometo. You might recognize that. Just like this. It was supposed to be moved from the building over here, down here, up onto this ramp right here, or this flat area, so it could go inside the USAF building, and it could be integrated. This is pictures from them testing it. And then, yeah, Vandenberg had actually 3 flame buckets, one for the shuttle and one for each SRB. Yeah, you can see there's a picture of the shuttle's pad before they wrecked it. After Slick 6, after the Air Force pulled out of the program and chose to pursue Titan 4 instead of the shuttle, they left it abandoned. It was used for an Athena launch in the early 2000s, and then it became Delta IV Heavy's West Coast launch site. They retooled it for Delta IV, and it's been used by Delta IV since. How many missions do you think the shuttle program could have gotten out of Slick 6? The Air Force needs to launch a lot with their spy satellites, so yeah. These are some actually pretty righteous pictures of the shuttle at Vandenberg. That's as close as we got. They had one stack. There's a picture of its whole launch frame and everything. I remember I told you my grandfather-in-law worked at Vandenberg during all this. He had very few choice words. Yep. You're not going to like this, but SpaceX will be tearing down the MST and the MAS, page 131 of their report. Yeah, no, I'm getting to it. Can you link this photo? Just type Slick 6 shuttle into Google Images, and yeah, it'll pop up. Yeah, see, there's the crew access arm, slide wire baskets. They had everything tooled up for the shuttle and ready to go, and then they promptly said, no, never mind. Yeah. There's pictures, side pictures. Don't ask me where I got all this. I couldn't tell you. Pictures of the payload changeout room working inside of the mobile service tower. Pictures of shuttle integration operations. Dude, they even had pad deluge tests. Dude, they got that close. They had the pad deluge ready to go. Yeah. 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 That snuck in there. That picture's not supposed to be in here, but also that's a really cool picture. Yeah. So, you can see actually in this, the orbiter processing facility is not made yet, and this is just my general shuttle pictures folder. So we have all kinds of stuff, all kinds of different stuff in here, pictures that you might like from the shuttle program. There is the external tanks being stored in the racks. That is what I hoped SpaceX would do with Starship. That's inside of the VAB. See, they just store the external tanks in the walls. Yeah, because you can do that. That's some really nice pictures of the ISS. Shuttle Centaur, umbilical. EJ's Aerostar review. Some of these pictures you can't get online. Let me put it to you like that. There's the external tank racks. Yeah! Ah, that would have been sick to see Starships do that. So yeah, there's a better picture of it. Payload changeout room, the SAB, mobile service tower. Yep. Payload prep. Yep. It's a cool idea. And then they never did anything with it. Oh yeah, pictures like that you're not going to find on the internet. Except now you have, but whatever. Anyway, so it looks like SpaceX is wants to use this for their horizontal integration building in one proposal. Interestingly enough. You wouldn't get those from L2 either, thousands. I know people. No, you're not going to find those pictures on L2. My buddy gave those to me. My buddy that worked on the shuttle program. No, I'm not telling you who it is. It's my job. So it seems like they want to use the ULA horizontal integration facility or build their own HIF here. It's interesting though. They want, if you're going to do this, you're going to, as Phil, you said a second ago, if they're going to do that, hang on. It's going to take a second to load this all up. I got the pick from Bucky's. Yeah. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to basically fill in one of the flame trenches. Yeah. Yeah, there's a flame trench right there. See it? You see the shadow? Because that would have been a flame trench for the left side SRB. Even doing this, you're still going to have to... Wait. The paragraph on page 131 saying they're going to demolish all structures. Oh, no. SpaceX would modify Slick 6 to support Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy launches, including demolishing of existing structures and construction of infrastructure that would support the Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy launch vehicle programs. Demolition would be limited to structures within the Slick 6 complex. Demolition techniques for large structures may involve the use of heavy machinery to cut or pull down structures or use explosives. Infrastructure would include utilities, the potential construction of a new hangar, construction of a vehicle erector system at the launch pad, and minor modifications to the existing flame trench. SpaceX would construct new or improved existing power, water, wastewater, communications utilities, commodity storage, including RP-1, liquid oxygen, nitrogen, helium, and water, would be constructed within the existing complex to support launch operations. Construction may occur at any time, day or night. Construction activities would not occur in previously undisturbed areas. Yep. Large structures with explosives is exactly how they took down Slick 40's mobile service tower. Well, I think that would be this MST. That mobile service tower would be the one that gets wrecked. What I'm wondering, Phil, and what doesn't make a whole lick of sense to me, right, is you have a flame trench that's going this way. It's going left, right. I mean, they've already filled in the shuttles. They already filled in the shuttle's flame trench with concrete. They did that a long time ago. That was done in the 2000s. You can see that would have been for the 3 shuttle engines shooting out the side. They already got rid of that. That was filled in. I wonder, in fact, I wonder if we have a picture, if there's a picture of it with it not filled in. Yeah, no, that was filled in by the 2000s. Yeah, that's been like that for a long time. If you were going to do this, if you're going to make these modifications, I don't understand why you wouldn't just build a HIF right here. But then again, that kind of disrupts this whole thing. And all the mobile service tower infrastructure with the door and the crane isn't designed to be integrated in that direction either. Yeah, why wouldn't you build a HIF right here where the PCR used to be? The payload changeout room is long gone. It's been gone for a long time. I would build right here. Wouldn't that be easier to utilize everything? Like, why build over here? Why build this way? I'm sure there's a good reason, but why? Like, that doesn't make a whole lick of sense. Interesting. How hard is it to dig a new trench out of concrete? I don't know. Ground stability? Grayson, I'd like to think that the terrain where the payload changeout room, where the PCR, that structure would be, you know, strong enough to hold that thing up. If it can hold up the payload changeout room, that's where I'm saying build it right there. If it was strong, if they built it strong enough to handle the PCR without sinking into the ground, should be able to build a HIF right here and then connect it into the payload preparation room. So you utilize all of this. So you can build the stack and prepare the payload all at once. Like, why wouldn't you do that way? That makes no sense. I just don't really understand the reason for modification like this. Like, why do this way? You already have a payload processing facility right here. If you built your HIF right here, your horizontal integration facility, which is where they build the stack, if you built it right here, you could utilize this for payload, and you could integrate payload and stack right next to each other. You could do it horizontally, or you could do it vertically. Is it wide enough to be a HIF? Well, considering it's Falcon Heavy, let's take some measurements. Why would SpaceX modify the tried and tested methods to use existing infrastructure? What I'm telling you is that you don't have to. That HIF on the side of the pad is owned by L3 Harris, so maybe they don't want to make a HIF that close. Oh. They don't have... Give me one sec. Let's just take a look. Let's say 165 feet. 165 feet wide. And 300 feet long. Oh. Yeah, that doesn't fit. I don't think that'll fit, dudes. Yeah. Yeah, about that. Yeah, it won't fit. And if that building is owned by L3 Harris, then yeah, nope. Yeah, that's not happening. That's why they're doing it that way. That's unfortunate. Yeah, but see, Slick 6 was built out completely. SRB, see, you could see the train right here. The SRB train would come in right here. See? You have a solid rocket motor segment right there coming in here. This is your SRB processing facility. That's a cool parking lot. And then, yeah, the external tanks would be brought in right up in here. And they just bring the ETs right into this building from here. You could probably, I think they stored them somewhere else. I think they stored ETs in this building right here. I think. Judging by the wide radius and the big external tank sized doors on the side, probably how they did that. So you have your SRBs coming in via train, which is super cool because they built that really awesome spur line right there. Right? So your SRBs come in via train, right? External tanks come in via heavy dock. Fun fact, SpaceX still uses that dock, and you could see them unloading fairings. That's cool. You could see them unloading fairings for Falcon 9 using the dock. Any Falcon 9s that come into Vandenberg, they just put them on this barge and send them right back. They're coming into Long Beach from that launch from Vandenberg that land out on the drone ship. The drone ship takes it to Long Beach, And then they just put them on this barge. SpaceX bought this crappy barge or rented it, right? And they use it, just move the hardware right back up. Because if it's already on a ship, put it on another ship and just send it right back up. This right here was designed to receive external tanks. And then ULA later used it for Atlas and Delta. But yeah, see, it crosses the tracks right there. And then that's external tank storage, right? That's SRB processing right here, or former SRB processing. And then it looks like there's, I'm not sure what that line is used for. I'd have to go read, because I'm pretty sure this is your SRB processing facility, but I could be wrong. Anyway. And then up here, you'd have your payload integration and payload processing area for satellites that do things. And then over here, yeah, that's your pad, and then the orbiter processing facility is over here. You know that this is the orbiter processing facility because there's cuts. See the cuts in the terrain? The cuts in the terrain are a dead giveaway. The reason why there's so many damn cuts in the terrain is because you need to move something with wings up that road. Give me 1 second. And I have a picture up from that road right there. See? Yeah, you got to move something with wings up that road. That house above the barge you've had a barbecue at? That's cool, man. Were they winging it? No, I don't think they were. Yep. Yep, there it is. That's that road. That is this road right here. And that picture was taken right there of Enterprise coming up here to the OPF so they could integrate it into the shuttle. But yeah, an entire shuttle processing complex right there. It really makes the VAB in terms of shuttle processing look kind of useless. Some sweet old pickups in that photo. Dude, I'm looking at that W250 right there. And then that's a K5 right there. And then looks like you got a Hilux over here. Well, it wasn't a Hilux. It's a Toyota 4x4. Got an Econoline and then an Airstream right there. Some really nice kit in some of these pictures, man. We go back a little ways, you could see, yeah, when they were getting ready to open up the pad. Look at this. Dude, it's crazy. They did so much work. Like I said, $2 billion in the 1980s, which... Oops. Ah, see that right there? See those train cars? Pneumatics. Those are nitrogen tanks. Interesting. Yeah, these are some awesome pictures, dude. Yeah, there's the flame trench that they filled in. I even have pad deluge system information. Yeah, all this is public. You just got to go looking for it. But fortunately, you don't have to. Because I got it. That is when the pad was being built for Gemini. Yeah. Yeah. Aerostar. Do you think the external tank processing building could be used for Falcon 9 fairings? I think they might already do that. That small black truck looked like it could have been a little Nissan hardbody. Yeah, could be either one. Here, let me go look through. Guys, I got a lot of cool pictures about this stuff here. There's a picture of Enterprise right there with that same K5 right next to it. This was taken a little later in the day from those other pictures. There's a nice picture of Atlantis. There's a nice picture of Discovery doing its thing. That's ET processing inside of the VAB. Could have been. Once again, this is my generic shuttle folder. I don't know how that snuck in there, but hey, whatever. I don't hate it. So, Centaur G. Yeah, Andrew, that's probably it, if I had to guess. Aft cargo carrier. Store the external tanks in the walls. They're in the walls. I have more pictures of Slick 6 construction. There it is, right there. There's them building the tanks at Slick 6. Oh, that's another picture. Yep, see, there it is. Look at the Bronco. Hell yeah. Bronco K5. Got a deuce and a half over there. Got an F350. Look at some of this stuff, man. That snuck in here. I don't know why that's there. I have a bunch more pictures like this of the pad construction if you guys wanted to see. That's not that. Yeah, see? Look. Oh! Ship 26 is better. No, it's not. Yeah, there's a picture of how they integrated the buildings at Slick 6 for Delta 4. There's a picture of the shuttle in the VAB, showing the true scale of the VAB, which is ridiculous. Oh, that's inside of the rotating service structure. Can you make all these available for download? No. No, they're mine. Sweet. Oh, look at it, man. That one snuck in here, but yeah, whatever. If you know what that is, good for you. If you know what that is, then good for you. Yes, I know it's a space shuttle. Which one? Also, Peterbilt 352. Peterbilt, 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 Peterbilt. Nice cab over. Oh, sick. I forgot I had these. Yeah. It's Challenger, guys. Yep. That's them towing Challenger in to be refitted from the structural testing article of the shuttle program to an actual shuttle orbiter. That's Challenger. Also, that Peterbilt 352 is money. Money. Yeah, it snuck in here too. That also snuck in here. That's what they wanted to do with the space shuttle, but we're gonna freaking chance to. Wind tunnel tests. Where are my other Slick 6 pictures? I know they're around. Oh. There's the external tank in the wall. I should have shown these pictures when I had my original Starship VAB theory. Oh yeah, same picture, same vehicle. Or same vehicle. The Kometo. Yeah, SpaceX bought that after they stopped using it, by the way. That was originally made for Slick 6. Yeah, see, there's the PCR right there, payload change out. That one snuck in there, but that's super cool. I have other pictures of Vandenberg. Give me 1 second. I'm getting to it. I know, yeah, you've always got a whole supply of stuff. Ah, here we go. Here we go. Baby. Dude, how about that K20? How about that freaking caddy right there? Yeah, baby. Oh, dude, look at some of the iron, man. You know how much one of those things is worth now? There's a C-10 over there. F-250. Now there's a Beetle over there. Oh, dude, a Ranchero. No, it's not an El Camino. Actually, that might be an El Camino. I can't tell. It's too far away. A Fiesta? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, see, here's pictures of them building it. Oh, dude. Old Dodge. What's going on with Slick 6? I'll show you in a second. That's the payload changeout room right there. Oh, dude. Look at the Hilux. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Nice truck. Yep, there it is. So SpaceX is looking at, they're looking to build their HIF right here and have Falcon go this way. Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy be integrated this way. That's very interesting considering your buckets for this pad go the opposite direction. If you look, pad's designed to go this way. Hey, Waz, what's going on? Shuttle's just so dang pretty. Oh, I agreed. It looked like an Elko. Wheels don't look right for a Ranchero. Yeah, second thought, Bear, you're probably right. Let's talk about the AC unit on the Peterbilt, the RVAC. I saw it, Will. I saw it. Yep. So see, the pad goes this way, which is very interesting because the environmental assessment says they're going to integrate this way, which means the pad needs to be wide this way, left to right. But if they're going to do that, they're basically going to fill in that flame trench right there. This is a double-sided flame trench. It actually goes either direction. They're going to fill that in, and you're going to make your HIF tracks go this way, and you're going to build out a HIF over here. Or use the Delta 4 existing one, which is the former shuttle processing facility there when it was a shuttle pad. You can see that there's Delta 4 accoutrement sitting out here. Accoutrement? The heck is that? It said Toyota on the back, Dama. Have you looked around North Vandenberg? It really reminds me of Kapustin Yar, with how it's just covered with random abandoned launch pads and buildings. Yeah, Def, not a lot of people know how many freaking pads are out there. There's a lot. Yeah, that was the water tower. It's been demolished. Most likely because ULA favors a pneumatic sound suppressor instead of a gravity feed. Don't you talk to me this way. But yeah, it looks like they're going to have to demolish the service tower and the lightning rod. And I mean, retooling this Slick 6 for Falcon is going to require some pretty extensive modifications. That's actually a lot, considering that everything was designed, every rocket this pad has been designed for and or flown off of is designed to be integrated this way. It looks like they're trying to do it 90 degrees off, which is very, yeah. That's a lot of work. Even doing something like this, that's crazy. That's a lot of time. South Base has Slick 1 through 5. North Base has 6 through 12. Yeah, I saw a Porsche over there. Helicali. Yeah, it looked like an old 911. I mean, why not build the HIF like right here and then tee it up that way? I don't like. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons, but dang, man, that's crazy. But Slick 6 probably is one of the prettiest launch site for the shuttle. Like, look at that, man. That's something else. How about that, huh? Ah, that would have been cool. Anyway, yeah, SpaceX wants to do some modifications to Slick 6 to make it, to launch Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy from it, which is super interesting. Yeah, look at that. That's gonna, dude, grading that out is gonna take a lot of time. That's crazy. I wonder what the performance increase is going polar from Vandenberg over the Cape. It's a pretty significant increase, Fish. With the Cape, you kind of have to launch east. You kind of have to launch east out of the Cape and then take a turn and go south and then go from there. Yeah, that's a lot. And you also have to negate out the rotational forces from being at a lower lower latitude. They can just grade it out using the runway tool. Ah, yeah. 2 or 3 years longer? I would say that this is going to happen sooner rather than later. In fact, I would probably say that if this is happening, they've probably already started breaking ground. Yeah, they probably already started doing that. It just kind of kills me to see Slick 6 like this. Because look at what it could have been. I can't believe. Never mind. Burn it down. Never mind. Never mind. Do what you got to do. Nope. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Nope. 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 Just get rid of it. Never mind. Wait a minute. So they do have experience building launch pads. These mother... I swear to God. They do have experience building pads. Oh, that really activates my almonds, man. That's a Bechtel logo. What if they only built that shed? Oh, well, then it's fine. Give them a chance. Well, I'll admit, in all seriousness, Vargon, if they built that, then Slick 6 is pretty baller. That's pretty cool. Little bit of respect increased, but also, if you knew how to build launch pads, why did it take so long for you to figure out how to build a launch pad and charge so much goddamn money to build a launch pad? What? Concrete pad versus mobile pad. Yeah, to be fair, this is a completely different architecture. It was built by Bechtel. No wonder they never used it. Rip in pepperonis. Yeah, right. Because probably all the guys who built Slick 6 retired too. I mean, yes, this was 40 years ago. Looking at the Cape, ballpark 111 AZ looks to be the best Cape can get to polar launches without a dog leg. Yeah. This is decades apart. Yeah, maybe there was a time where they did stuff correctly. Maybe. Still, though, it is an excellent... Dude, Slick 6 is nuts, dude. What a crazy piece of architecture. It's super cool. That's crazy, dude. I love Slick 6. Sorry, sometimes I just stare at it because I think it's such a cool launch pad. Yeah, and then there's the retool for Delta 4. That's after that build. See that? Hey, get back here. That's one of the buildings that they want to try and use for a HIF. If I had to guess, SpaceX is just going to build their own building. They want another proposal was building a HIF right here and then having the strong back go to the pad this way. That's what I would do if I was going to choose either one of those. But honestly, I would have put the HIF over here. Yeah, yeah, or not. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, the Air Force probably didn't take that line down for sure. For sure. I think Boca Chica might be able to do polar launches. Really? Hmm. All right. Well, yeah, that that was SpaceX looking to modify Slick 6. They did hand over the pad. You ever stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty? It's genius. They want to put RP1 storage there. They want to put lock storage in the pre-existing area. This is hydrogen over here. They don't need that. Pneumatic storage over there. Upper and lower aerospace. Ground equipment, lift, pit, and crown. Interesting. Yeah. GE hydraulics. Yeah, Phil. Yeah, no, I was able to extrapolate that. And then they want to build 2 landing pads over here. They want to build 2 pads over here, which is interesting because there's a conceivable outcome here where Vandenberg has more Falcon 9 landing pads than the Cape. SpaceX already has 1 landing pad out here. It's Slick 4 West. That one, or the old Slick 4 West. Slick 4 West is technically there. This is the area where the mobile service tower for Titan would have been once upon a time. See? There it is. And then there's the pad proper. And then, yeah, they just leveled that. The pad is still there with its flame buckets, which is super cool. But now, yeah, they use that for Falcon 9 processing. Full RTLS Falcon, yeah. And then there's Slick 4E, which is Falcon 9's pad. There it is. See, interesting thing here. Interesting thing. Let me just check something. Hold on. I want to see. Did they? Yeah, they did. To make Slick 4 West, they paved over a flame bucket. Because Titan launch pads are twin pad, twin buckets. It goes out either side. See the trench right there? Actually, I can't tell. Maybe? Yeah, no, definitely. Huh. Yeah, see, look at the work that SpaceX did on this thing. They were just like, nah, rip all this up, whatever. See? Jeez. And then they built the TE. They built the horizontal integration facility and the transporter erector path to the pad right there. I'm wondering what was over there before. Oh, nothing, just a building. Yeah, they built it over there. Huh. Well, the Cape of the landing zones, isn't the idea to build new ones by 39A? We don't know that for sure, NG, but yeah. I wonder if L3 will eventually move out of that payload processing facility if Slick 6 Cadence gets busy, since they'll need to evacuate. Yeah. Bill, how sick would that have been to put the HIF right there? It'll barely fit, but it'll fit. Like I said, barely, but it'll fit. How cool would that have been? Use the payload changeout room for what it was intended to be used for. Yeah, but SpaceX, once again, they're looking to demo basically everything right here. And I'm really wondering how they're going to... I mean, that's going to require some extensive trench modifications, but it must be wide enough. It's got to be. I mean, we know it's actually pretty wide because it was designed for the shuttle from that picture. See, there's a picture of the trench. That actually should be wide enough for Falcon Heavy right there. The reason how I know is because if you look, these are the booster. Like if this is you picturing a shuttle stack in your mind, we're looking down the tower at the shuttle stack. An SRB would be here, an SRB would be here, and the 3 main engines would be right here. These are your tail service mast umbilicals or TSMs for the space shuttle, where they filled up the external tank through the space shuttle. Because why have 2 fill and drain lines into the external tank when you could have 1 and just reverse the flow when the engines are on, right? It's actually pretty smart. Pretty smart idea. But if you notice, this flame bucket is gigantic. It's huge. It's really wide. Why is that? Well, those buckets are there, guys, because the shuttle slews off the pad. It actually kind of moves sideways off the pad, or in this particular case, it would have gone that way. It would have got like, let me reorient my hand here. It would have gone this way. So because of that, you needed a wide flame bucket. Even if you look at the mobile launchers that the shuttle used during the at 39, the mobile launcher platforms, they did a very similar design. Yeah, here we go. I can't see it. The damn wing is in the way, but it's actually a wide berth. Falcon Heavy could pick up on that. Now that I'm thinking about it, that's wide enough. You know how I know? Because the SRB aft skirt is like 4 meters, right? And then if you could picture the SRB right here, the SRB casing is 3.5. So that means 3.7 meters, which is the diameter of one Falcon 9, can fit in between the old SRB hold down points, which are no longer there. It's all been modified for Delta 4. This is not there. There's actually a much wider trench here because Delta 4 Heavy could have 3 cores, so they took all this crap off. None of this is here. And then they filled in that flame trench over there where that dude's crawling around. So if they modified all this, right, and that's 3.7 meters, right, another 3.7 meter right there, and another 3.7 meter there. This trench, and keep in mind they would fill this in because they want the TE to pick up right here. And then the service structure that this picture was taken from would be demolished, right? That's where you want your buckets to be. So yeah, it'll fit. It'll fit. Yeah, it'll work. Yeah, see? Look, that part of this is still here from this picture from Google Earth. Part of the old shuttle launch pad is there. This part was modified for Delta 4. That part right there, this front bucket piece would be right here. See this back piece with these angled pieces right there? That's still there. You could still see parts of it right there. It looks like the parts with the deluge system were taken out. And they could use the other trench for TE hydraulics. Yep, I get it. I get it. Makes sense. And that also will allow Falcon Heavy to vertically integrate payload. You could do vertical payload processing in it. Yeah, okay. I see why they did it that way. It's actually not going to require as many modifications as you might think. You're going to have to demolish the service structure, though. Yeah, that's got to go. And then you hollow out that pit right there for the TE lifting points, right? And then the transporter erector will most likely, and the launch frame will most likely pick up right here. I get it. But that still means you can only close the buildings and then add 4 towers. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4. What I'm really curious, dudes, about this is that will you still be able to close the buildings in? Can you move these buildings in? And if you could, how are you going to be able to do that? Because the tracks for the buildings, see what I'm talking about? The track for the building, which is right here, is going to cross the TE path. Are the buildings high enough for the Falcon 9 stack? They're high enough for a Delta 4 Heavy, and they're high enough for a shuttle stack. So yeah, yes, this one absolutely is. See this building right here? That one was designed for Gemini MOL, Manned Orbiting Laboratory. So it was designed for a Titan 3E stack. That. Please hold. Please hold. There's the original Slick 6 construction. That was when they were just making it a Titan pad. Yeah. And then they built the payload changeout room in this damn ravine right here. I don't know where that dang picture of the MOL launching is in this wiki article. Oh, there it is. It's designed for that. Yeah, see? NSSL fairings too? I doubt it with the NSSL fairings. But what I'm really wondering, I mean, you could just extend this. And then, yeah, there's a bridge crane in this thing. That's why that building looks like a upside down L Tetris piece. Yeah, if you're moving it via SPMT, yeah, you should be able to do it. If I recall correctly, Vandenberg Slick 4s it's not SPMTs, it's an airport tug actually. Falcon Research Pictures. Yeah, here we go. That's Vandenberg's transporter erector. It's actually on wheels. Fun fact. It's on 747 wheels. They still use that to its day. And it's towed by an airport tug. So is 39A. So is 39A for what it's worth. Yeah. SpaceX bought a bunch of 747 tires because it's cheap. And they used that. The reason why? Elon wanted it to roll out like an airplane. I have that on first-hand authority from the guy that designed this. I can't say when and where I met that dude in my travels. But, yeah, good dude. Yeah, they're 747 wheels. Look. Oh, yeah. They just went and found a junk 747 and took all the wheels and tires. And then used that to roll their rocket out. If they're doing something like this at Slick 6, then you don't need to worry. You don't need to worry about crossing these rails. No problem. Easy peasy. You could put your hydraulic equipment here. Just drive right up. And then your this piece right here, see that flat part down at the bottom, the reaction frame? That thing can just pick up right here. Easy peasy. That's actually pretty smart. That's actually pretty smart. I was kind of wondering why you would do that way and why you wouldn't do it the other way, but yeah. It looks like it's not just tires, but the complete bogies. I know it's the tires. I can't speak to anything else. Or they could just use SPMTs. Yeah. Yeah. If they're just using SPMTs like Blue Origin and Nuglins, sure, why not? You know, this picture's 8 years old, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. SpaceX launch supported by Boeing. Ironic. Yep. My Falcon research folder has a lot of good stuff in it, too. Yeah. There's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of old school pictures, man. Yeah, see? Airport tug. Again. Bro. Who took that photo? Rob Mecklenburg. Great picture. Speed up the turnaround by having more than one TE. I don't think they'll do that, but Yeah, cool. Well, now we learned a little bit more. I hope you guys enjoyed that kind of inadvertent deep dive into Slick 6. I love Slick 6. It's one of my favorite launch pads ever because shuttle. Like, don't get me wrong, I love 39A, but there's an aesthetic going on at Slick 6 that's just, I really wish that happened, man. Whoever gave the decision to launch Challenger on January 28th, 1986, I want to kick in the scrotum repeatedly, like with a steel-toed boot. Because Challenger happening basically had this all canceled. Yeah, that sucks. I've missed your shuttle tangents. Yeah, if it happens. Do you know how they can accurately align the hydraulics at the pad T? Heim joints is the answer to that, builder. A Heim joint. Would you like to see? I'll show you. Because guess what, boy? I have pictures of that, son. Let me find them. They're in here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. They could use Heim joints or, well, if you look, that's the pivot point to pivot the entire transporter, erector and reaction frame. Yeah, see that? That's where the whole shebang pivots. It's not necessarily a Heim joint, but it's more just back this in, right? And then when you, this is a hydraulic actuator that pushes a peg through here. That peg, if it's conic on one side, will just seat everything for you. And you can see there's a little bit of taper to it. See it right there? It's not necessarily a Heim joint in this regard, but there are other instances where it could be. Also, Jim. Hello. See, this is the the receiving end of this is actually right there. See, look. Okay, builder, take a look. Oh, no, hey, come, damn it, Windows. All right, so you see this guy right there. You see it's a Heim joint. It allows it, so a Heim joint is a hinge, right? Obviously you have a tab right here, and then there's a hole going through it, but if you look, there's like another thing going on. There's a spherical ball joint inside of that hinge. It's called a Heim joint. So the sphere, right, means that it doesn't need to necessarily be like perfectly lined up. Between that taper on the hydraulic rod and the Heim joint here means you got a little bit of leeway, right? And basically that little bit of leeway allows this to all kind of bolt together. There's also the spot where the hydraulics hook up, but you can see it over here, but it's not there. Once caught a fish this big. But yeah, that's where it all picks up. It's super cool. See? Right there. It is a Heim joint. I was right. Big old Heim joint. I wonder if the other one has that. Hold on. Please hold. Oh, look at that. Who knows what that is? Oh, okay. No problem, Hired. It's not a big deal. Reading the Slick 6 doc, apparently there was some type of NEPA approval process which was completed for Phantom Space Rocket at Slick 8, which make it appear that they're going to launch from both there and Slick 5, which seems strange for a company that hasn't launched anything yet. Sorry, the launch director for Challenger died a couple of years ago. He didn't make that decision. It wasn't that guy's fault. Yeah, can't see it just yet. Who took that picture? That's Rich Angle over at Teslarati. It's a great picture. That Heim joint is over here. It's behind this somewhere. There's got to be a picture. I got to have a picture of that thing. Do have some really nice pictures. I remember that one. Don't ask. Yeah, you can't see them in this because they're hooked up. But, yeah, they're over here somewhere. Anyway. Yeah, a little jaunt down Slick 6 memory lane there. Yeah, well, it sucks. But anyway. So that's cool. Yeah, it looks like they're going to put the hydraulic equipment for the TE in the pit, which makes sense. Cool. Anyway, so check this out. A little bit of SLS news here. There's a Phil Sloss article about this as well, but we'll just watch the video because I'm kind of getting a little, you know. So, teams at Michoud recently moved the liquid oxygen tank for Artemis 3 into a cleaning cell. Once complete, mobile clean rooms are used to access the tank's interior, protecting it from external contaminants. Yeah, baby. We saw the B-roll footage from this, I think, a little while back, but yeah, there it is. Dude, look at that thing. You think this thing is heavy? Look at the size of the hardware. What a beast. Cool. Oh, yeah, they got the full video there. We've seen the video already, so. Let's move on to a little bit of Starship stuff here. So this is coming from Chris B. This happened actually very recently. Jay Speed, 116 month resub. Thank you.
Go at throttle up.
Just wiggle it a little. Yep. Ship 31 is outside and expected to roll to the pad first ahead of Flight 6. We're 170 hours to launch. Countdown to launch shows the top of the hour. There you go. Look, Ship 31 rolled out. Look at, dude, there is no tiles on that thing. The old tile line guys used to go right here. They took off probably about at least a meter of tiles on the side of this thing. That's nuts, dude. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Dude. Look at how many tiles are gone. Yeah, Brand, you weren't kidding. I mean, it's not anything we didn't know, but holy cow. They did roll it back to into the high bay, Chad? Okay, cool. Well, we got a picture of it, which is pretty sick. Look at that thing. Are they trying to melt it? I mean, maybe. Close up. There's a Starship Gazer close up shot. Wow. Is there a reason to remove tiles? Less weight or less mass? But see, look, you can see where oh my goodness. I think they're trying to minimize the amount of tiles that you have on this thing. And I think SpaceX realized from flight... Hello. I think SpaceX realized from Flight 5 that you don't need tiles there. Look at all of them. Look at all of them that they took off. Oh my goodness. Once again, guys, the tiles used to go to right here. They took off a good amount on either side. Holy cow. Here you go. How much mass do you think they saved? Probably a ton. Maybe a little less. I don't know. It's not an insignificant amount, dude. Dude, look at that thing, man. That thing is wild. It's peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. Way yet, way yet. There you go, there you go. Peanut butter jelly, peanut butter jelly. Crazy, huh? All right. So where are the catch pins going to be? Personally, I think that has a lot to do with this brand. I think they got rid of tiles because let's be real, dudes. You don't put tiles right there. You could just put a pin there. If it could survive just by itself, right? Coupled with that higher angle of attack that SpaceX is looking for, you might just be able to put super heavy catch pins right there and call it a day. Yeah. If they figure out that this area isn't in the flow from plasma, so like this right here, you're fine. I mean, in fact, this picture, if you look, that picture looks like the flow is going this way. You might not even need tiles right there. You might just be able to get away with putting a regular super heavy catch pin right there, you know? Go back to the close-up under the flaps. What? I mean, yeah, that's what they're currently using right there. That's what they're currently using, but I mean, you could put them right here. What is that? Banana. The stabilizer pin slot. Interesting. Yeah, they're still doing some thermal protection work over here, testing down there. See that? They put tiles on the backside of the flap. Didn't the aluminum tile melt where the catch pins might be? Yeah, but a stainless steel thing there wouldn't, Tusman, right? I was going to say, I would put the pin right here. The reason why I want to put the pin right there is because that's the strongest part. This is where the top of the methane tank connects to the payload volume. That's a really, really strong part of Starship right here. See, you can see from the welds. Look at how much reinforcement is in there. Actually, anytime you see these burn marks, there's stringers on the inside. That means you got good penetration on the stainless steel weld. And you really need to pen stainless steel right with a weld to get it to adhere to weld stuff together correctly. Hey RJ, what's going on? Super interesting. Super interesting. Anyway, so Ship 31 has since rolled back in. We got 2 pictures from RGV. Check this out. So my theory about the VAB per flame trench the other day is completely out the door. I don't know why you would choose to make this flame trench so ridiculously big. I have no freaking clue. Something that I did notice on flame trench the other day, and once again, these pictures are coming from RGV aerial. Take a look. Something I did notice. The pilings, if you look at these retaining walls that SpaceX forced into the ground so they can dig and not have to worry about the thing collapsing in on itself, right there, there's a relief cut right there. Probably for commodities, because we know that the commodity lines are going right here. You could see some of the pipes. This is where liquid methane and liquid oxygen will be moved in, right? For a bigger Starship, yeah, maybe. But this still begs the question. Like, so there's a relief cut in right there, and that might be for where the pad stands, but I'm honestly really wondering how this thing is going to fit into this design. There's a picture of the OLMB with the big old SpaceX telescopy crane. It's really coming together. I still don't, like I said, my VAB theory is out the door. And yeah, my VAB theory, where does it go? It's right. That's right. It goes in the square hole. So I don't really know how they're going to move that OLM into position. My only guess now is that they're going to move it in this way. It's going to be able to be moved in this way. I thought they would bring it in this way over the pad like 39A, but like I said, clearly that theory is toast. So maybe bring it in over this way, because that relief right there tells me that there's going to be some structure right here. EJ, how can you be a news person and admit that you're wrong? It's all about have integrity, RJ. It's all about have integrity. I have integrity. Do you have integrity? Where does ship 23 go? That's right. It goes in the flame. That goes in the square hole. Flame trench size based on the fluid dynamics of the exhaust of the vehicle. Yeah, Andrew, but if that was the case, I mean, so my thought there, that's a good idea. That's a good point. My thought there is that, okay, 39A and 39B's flame trenches are designed for Nova, Saturn Nova. They're over-engineered. They're 60 feet wide. 60 feet wide should be able to take 8 F1 engines. Each F1 produces about 7,000 kilonewtons. It's 6,700 kilonewtons, if I'm remembering right. So 5 F1s is 7.5 million pounds of thrust, right? I'm mixing measuring units here. So 8 would be probably 10 million pounds of thrust. Super Heavy makes 15 million pounds of thrust. Do you see what I'm talking about here? Why choose to do that? Because theoretically, wouldn't Super Heavy need a bigger flame trench than Saturn Nova? Like I said, it ain't a coincidence that there is a very good reason why that flame trench is 60 feet across, or about 16 meters. There's a very good reason. Now, just because starships aren't using the VAB doesn't mean my theory about them using the 39 flame trench, doesn't mean that's out the door. It might be. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it might be, but it might not be either. Right? It might not be. It might, yeah. Just because they're not using the VAB doesn't mean that the pad could be different. Yeah, no. Screw that. Screw that. I might not be wrong. Well, I was wrong about the VAB, but I might, like I said, this pad is the same diameter, or it's the same width, not diameter. It's not a circle, idiot. It's the same width as 39A and B, for what it's worth. Very interesting. I still think that's kind of curious, but now I'm trying to figure out how to put this together. And if that's the case, let's take a look. Let's just humor me here. All right, let's take a look. Let's go back over to 39A, right? Let's look at 39A. How would this jive with this? You know, how would it all come together? All right, hang on. Let me restart Google Earth. Yeah, Yuri, maybe because 39A is super over-engineered, they just borrowed that design. Yeah, it's possible. Okay. Okay, just shut all this off. All right, so where would a tower go in this design? That's right, it goes in the square hole. Oh. Oh, it can't be that easy. All right, so guys, hear me out. Hear me out here. SpaceX takes this thing. They take that thing. See that thing? You take this, and you put it right there. See this open spot right here? Put it right there. Why? Well, if you put it right there, you have access to the deflector, the main deflector at 39A. Complex 39 is a double deflector system, meaning that they see these tracks right here. That's not a road. Those are gigantic flame deflectors that went in here. I can show you it in my research folder. Give me 1 second. Or I could just, you know, click some stupid Windows key and have everything minimized because, you know, functionality be damned. Here, hold up. Let's go right here. Let me show you. Desktop, Rocket Research Pictures, Saturn. I have a picture of it here. This is the one. See the tracks? Those tracks are for the flame deflectors. See the deflector? The deflector can be moved. It can be taken out. It wasn't designed to be taken out, but the idea is that they'd have 2 deflectors so they could do a lot of missions pretty quickly. You roll one over here, and in the downtime, you refurbish it, right? Move the other one in position, right? And then when you need to replace the deflector, you move this one right there behind the launch umbilical tower, and then you roll the other one out to be refurbished. That's why this whole road is here in the first place. So if you build the tower right here, you build the... No, hold on. Don't go that far just yet. So you can deflect flames in both directions at 39A. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You can deflect flames in both directions. You can do that here. If I'm looking at this right, the pad's going to be right here. So it looks like you'll be able to deflect, obviously, this way and that way. So it'll be a twin pad deflector like 39 is, right? So if that's the case, if we kind of quote-unquote match where the deflector and the buckets will be with 39, that would put your tower in one of 2 places. That would either put your tower right here or right there. Keep both towers and launch Starship and Falcon 9 on the same pad. Well, see, Bob, here's the thing. If you built your tower over there, sure, why not? The only thing you really got to be careful of if you build the tower over here is, well, your commodity lines are right there. That's a problem. Your commodity lines being there means you'd have to move them. Over here, not so much. That's just dirt. It's compacted dirt. Yeah, I know it's compacted dirt because you're, well, give me a second. Got another picture. Just hold on. One of my favorite pictures from the moon, by the way. I don't know where I got that picture, but I really like that picture. I should have pictures of pad... Oh, picture of the external tank that's snuck in here. Please hold. Yeah, they were cooking during the Apollo program, by the way. Yeah, they were cooking. Give me a moment. I gotta find it. Oh. Yeah. If I'm understanding the just on a quick side note, guys, if I'm understanding this is going to have buckets. This is a flame bucket. A flame bucket is designed for long duration burns. It's the type of thing that you'd find on a test stand. That's the difference between a bucket and a deflector. A deflector is just a deflector. A flame bucket is something that has a deluge system built into it. That's the difference, at least to my knowledge. That's test stand 4670 at Marshall, where the first Saturn V first stage was ever fired. They built the first Saturn V at Marshall, and then every one after that was built at Michoud. But see the buckets? See the huge flame bucket? Look at it compared to the truck. You'll be able to fly Chinooks in Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. Nice. Cool. Ah, yes. Here we go. Poop. Yeah, this is a little bit of an older picture. I thought I had another picture of the thing being constructed. Sorry. Searching. It's a picture of the VAB under construction. Nah. Nah, that's 4670 at Marshall again. Where do you get that Chinook image? I don't remember. I don't remember, to be honest with you. Here, pad 39A construction. Yeah, here we go. That's the picture. This is the picture I was thinking of. But look, right here. See, there's just compacted soil right there. This room right here, if we really want to nerd out, is your HVAC room. That's your thermal conditioning for the pad. Pneumatics are over here. And dude, look at how built up where the actual launch mount picks up. Look at how thick that damn concrete is. Once again, guys, the width here is 16 meters between that wall and that wall. It's about 60 feet. Look at it compared to the car. It's about the size of an 8-lane highway. I know, I've stood in it. It's huge. But see, right here is just compacted soil. Where that tower could end up. It would be, yeah, it would be basically right here. If you couldn't put the tower, I don't think you could put the tower over here because once again, your commodity line is in the way. It's definitely strong enough, but if they built their tower, if SpaceX put their tower right here, right in that area, Starship Tower right there, and then eventually they got rid of the fixed service structure, right? Or somebody already suggested it, able like take this off and put in and roll in a modular, the OLM, like this way. You could roll the OLM in that way, like they want to do, or like what I think they're going to do here. If they rolled it in from the side, then it would all jive together. It would all work. That would work very well. Once again, I think SpaceX is looking to get, and this whole kind of explanation here is based off of the premise that I think SpaceX is looking to get Falcon operations off of 39A. I don't think they want Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy on 39A anymore. I think they built Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy on 39A at the time because they needed another pad. But 39A is grossly over-engineered for a rocket like Falcon 9. It is perfect for a rocket like Super Heavy. How do I know that? Well, that's a pretty good giveaway right there. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Tessa. Desktop, rocket research, Saturn pictures. That's right. It goes in the Saturn folder. I think that they want to do that. I think they already demonstrated that, you know, building a crew access arm at Slick 40, that they want to move, they want capability away from 39A. And I think eventually they're just going to move 39A's entire transporter erector and HIF somewhere else to another pad. Slick 37. Yeah. I have some pretty awesome pictures, guys. You know, I don't think, you know, if you watch me for Satisfactory, you're coming in from NASA spaceflight. I am a space nut bar. Like, I love this stuff. I love seeing the stuff get built. I love seeing the machine come together. This stuff makes me so happy, dude. It's so cool. Yeah, dude, do you see this spot right here where the crawler transporter is supposed to drive up on here and drop the mobile launcher down? See the peg mounts right there? This thing right there is going to survive till heat death of the damn universe. You could hit 39A dead center with an atomic blast and this thing would be fine. Like, you could drop a nuke right in the flame trench and maybe that's the only way to get this thing to break. This stuff is so ridiculously overbuilt. You could abandon 39A and that would be fine for, like, millennia. That's how strong this is. It is, like, 5 stories thick, reinforced concrete. You're not moving that. And the fact that they got it to settle on Florida soil and not sink into the ground is damn impressive. There's a reason they haven't started a dig at the 39A Starship pad. They will have Slick 6 at Vandy for Falcon Heavy. Yeah, maybe, Goatman, right? Dude, I personally think they're going to take this thing. They're taking that thing and they're going to put it right there. They're just going to take it apart. I don't think they've poured the concrete for it. If they've poured the concrete for that, you're kind of screwed. No, you're not moving that. That's stuck there. Yeah, that's completely stuck there. But yeah, who knows? LC34 is an example of durability. That's right, Kralani, right? And 34 is nowhere near built up to this. This part of the pad right there, that's not going anywhere. It could be, James, yeah. If that's the case, it could be a catch tower only. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be. It's possible. You'd still need an OLM to be able to safe the vehicle below it, though, guys. Unless you're just catching a starship, in which case, yeah, maybe. Pretty sure Zach said he's seen it been filled with concrete. Yeah. If it's been filled with concrete, I don't know what they're going to do with that thing, but... Why isn't it underwater? The oceans have been rising since the 90s. It's... Well, there's this thing that you can do, Explore. The pad, the entire base plate, let's call it, this area right here. See the blast detonation area. It's called the BDA. It's that perimeter that's around the pad. That entire thing is built probably about 15 feet above sea level. Okay? And then the pad on top of that is probably another 40 feet above sea level. If you were standing at sea level, you would not be able to see where the tower is right there. See what I'm talking about? This is all compacted and buildable terrain. The reason why they did that, is to make sure that if it floods, it's just going to flood around the pad. You're not flooding the pad. Water level, dude, you'd need the oceans to rise to... You need the oceans to rise like 40 feet to flood this thing. And if the oceans have risen that much, you got a lot more things to worry about than just climate change. You know what I mean? What they do need to worry about down at the Cape, with all that being said, is erosion from storms. Storms like to eat away at the coastline. Yeah, it already ate away at the train track that they used to fill. They used to use that to fill commodities at the pad. See, there was a train line right here. Note that it's not there anymore. There was train tracks that went out here somewhere, but the ocean decided that they wanted the train tracks. Yeah, guys, you know what? My Starship VAB made me out the door, but I still think that I still think that they would use 39. That'd be cool, man. You know, and if the Starship VAB theory is out the door, that means they wouldn't demolish the HIF, right? And if they don't demolish the HIF, you guys think there's a way that they could do both of these things? I mean, if the tower is right there, can you imagine just putting the OLM right here? So you could just do either one. You could do Falcon or Starship from one pad. I highly doubt that would happen, but because I'd be worried about one rocket damaging another rocket's pad. There's a reason why NASA originally moved these things far away from each other. Anyway. Yeah, still cool, man. Still cool. But yeah, the OLM and the flame duct are coming along, dude. I don't know, man. This thing doesn't seem wide enough to be able to fit across this thing. That's what I still can't figure out. Possible render of the pad. Oh, this is Chrome Kiwi. Yeah. Chrome Kiwi's cool. Yeah, see, buckets. That's what see, they're flame buckets. They're not flame deflectors. Is it wide enough though, Phil? Oh, dude, these Chrome Kiwi renders are sick. That's super cool. Y2 booster quick disconnects. One is for the spin start for the outer 20 Raptors. So in the old pad thousands, each one of the arms had a pneumatic line attached to it to spin start the Raptor, the outer ring of 20, because those don't have any restart capability. Those are ground side starters. What SpaceX decided to do is take those umbilicals off of the hold downs and put it on one booster quick disconnect and then have a recirculation manifold. So basically a commodity line just to spin start the motors. So this is like this is like CO2 over here for the snuffer system. That's nitrogen, obviously methane, and obviously LOX. And then this is the starter motor for the quote unquote starter actuator for the outer ring of 20. That's why there's two BQDs. Oh yeah, I forgot. Thanks for reminding you. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's interesting that Chrome Kiwi has like a plate that can fold in and under for service and maintenance. Also, as Alex pointed out on Flame Trench the other day, look at how low this thing is compared to that right there. The deck of the launch plate right there is nowhere near where the tower starts. See what I'm saying? Just like Massey's. Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time something like that has been proposed. And it's not even SpaceX. SpaceX isn't the first one to do that. Quick, to the research pictures. Look. So this is test stand 4670 at Marshall. See that right there? See this beam that comes out of the side? That's service gantry. It's an entire platform that moves in underneath the rocket. All of NASA's old test stands do that. Don't worry about that. All of them do that. Maybe I have more pictures. Dude. That's crazy. Look at that. Look at the Saturn fixed service structure. Or Saturn mobile service structure. Let me see if I find it. If I can find it, excuse me. Yeah. That one doesn't really have it, but that's an older test stand. I mean, the VAB has the service gantries like that. They have entire like 3-4 story buildings that could move in and out and encompass the vehicle. See? So like this thing pulls out like a kitchen cabinet. Look, it's like 5 stories tall, right? And then another one over here does the same thing, and they can close in on between S2, the S1 and the S2, right? So you can work on putting it all together and hooking everything up. See all the gantries? I mean, SLS does this too for what it's worth, but the way the Saturn V did it, it was like an entire building that just moves. Why was the Apollo program so well thought out? Because it was designed by like 4 or 5 people and not a committee. And yeah. I mean, actually, you want to know why it was all thought out? I have a picture. I have another picture for that. Scanning. That's the reason right there. Yes, we know of his past. You telling us, somebody in chat telling us where that guy came from. Yeah, we know. We get it. Okay? We get it. You don't need it. You don't need to remind us. Okay, we understand. That guy was let's just say he's a good project manager, and we'll call it that. We'll leave it at that. Stage 0 talk for the win. Just wanted to say thank you for spending this much time talking about the whole Starbase Pad B concept. Oh, GSE is my favorite, Jake. That's my absolute favorite. I love the machine that makes the machine. That is my absolute favorite part of rocketry, or at least launching things. The good part would be actually going to the moon. But yeah, I love seeing how the pads come together. It really makes me happy. Yeah, super freaking cool, dude. That's why I like Slick 6 so much, Jake, because Slick 6 was like all the optimizations that could have done they did with the shuttle, right? But yeah, dude, crazy. What's up, Snackless? How you doing? Would you say that the spin start is similar to a ground air starter on a plane? Yeah. Yeah, Snackless, yes, of course. Yeah. It's a pneumatic system, right? Your ground side starters are a pneumatic system. Yeah, of course. Hey, Radley, 51-month resub. Thank you. And Snackless, thank you for the 23. I appreciate it. You work for a Werner, not that one. Oh, okay. I don't think it would like his past two either. Yeah, Yuri, it's just anytime we talk about von Braun and saying anything about him in a good regard, some moron comes into the chat and it's like, well, did you know that he was a Nazi? Yeah, we know. We know. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Thank you. Do I have a problem with that? Yeah, sure, absolutely. Who wouldn't? But also, Saturn V is pretty damn cool, and the past is the past, you know? Like, we know. We get it. Not cool. The rocket's cool, though. Anyway, yeah, you know what? I gotta shoot Chrome Kiwi a DM. This stuff's pretty cool. Yeah, that's right, Kurlani. Yeah, not a lot of people know that. Tiz, what's that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. You know what, dude? I need my office to look like that. I'm talking with the wood veneer and everything. And I need my rotary conference phone right there. Can I have that? I just need this. This is dope. That's pretty sick, man. I love how the Saturn V is so big compared to all the other rockets that they had to leave. They put a relief in the damn drop ceiling. Look, there's a relief in the drop ceiling because the Saturn V is too tall. See? German to the freaking end. No, all the rockets need to be in complete scale. Knowing him, they probably had like this made and then said, no, every other rocket needs to be in perfect scale. If it's not in scale, I do not want it. Right? And then they had to make every other one. And by the time they got to Saturn V, they had to put a damn hole in the ceiling for it. So let's go down the list. What do we got? So that's aggregate 4. I'm not sure what that one is, to be honest with you. That's aggregate 4. Jupiter, Juno, Redstone. Or no. No, that's Juno, Redstone, Jupiter. Jupiter C. That's Atlas. That's Atlas Agena, I think. Maybe? That's a weird upper stage. I don't know what that one. That's Mercury Atlas right there. That's Atlas Centaur. That's Saturn 1. Saturn 1 in the test configuration. That's Saturn 1 in the Block 1 CSM configuration. Saturn 1B, Saturn 5.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
No Titan 2? And hell no. No. The Titan program is the Air Force. Von Braun worked for the Army Ballistic Missile Agency. There was a time when the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force were all trying to compete with their own rockets. Yeah. True story. The Army took Von Braun. The Navy had the Vanguard program, which should probably stick to ships. Anyway, and then the Air Force had Titan. In fact, going into the Apollo program, there was a basically the closest thing that we would get to evolved expendable launch vehicle programs Von Braun wanted the Saturn program. He wanted to use Saturn 1 for defense missions. And the Air Force said, no, we're going to use Titan. We're going to use Titan because it's ours. We're going to use Titan because it's ours. Can you imagine taking a Titan 3 over a Saturn 1B? Are you out of your mind? Saturn 1B is better on every level. It is infinitely more simple to make than a Titan 3. But the Air Force is like, no, we're going to use Titan because it's ours. Meh. We're going to use Titan because it's ours. No, your rocket's simpler and can move more into space. No, we're going to use Titan because it's ours. Like, cope, dude. Cope harder. Dude, see that thing right there? Saturn 1B could move 25 tons. 25 tons into Leo. That is like EELV requirement, or like NSSL requirement to a T. You want to know how much coping the Air Force had to go through to get Titan to do the same thing? Look at all this cope. Look at all this. What is it? The Saturn 1B can do everything on this. Everything better. Like, what is all this? Cope. Cope freaking harder, Air Force. You wish you had the Army's rockets. Like, what oh, yes. Titan 3E Centaur. Titan 3C Gina Gemini. 34D Titan Commercial. 23 for 4B. Piss off. The Saturn V could do what Titan 4 could do. And the Saturn 1B predates Titan 4 by like 20 years. All right? Cope. Just one more variant, bro. Please, bro. Please. It'll do all your national security requirements, bro. Please. Look at all these probes that it launched, bro. Please, bro. Please, bro. Just one more booster, bro. Just one more variant, bro. Let's just put a different upper stage on it, bro. Please. Like, what is this? What is this? What is this thing? 3B. What the hell are you doing? What is that supposed to be? It's not almost exactly the same model, but it's steel at how much? $300? Von Braun didn't work on the Gemini program? Yeah, he did a little bit. Yeah, so, I mean, worked on Titan 2 GLV, which is this one right here. I'm just gonna slide in Atlas CELV right here. Bro. What? I like this one. This one is an abomination. Kill it. Look at all this. Cope. Oh, we needed to do more. Give it a bigger fairing. Bro. Saturn 1B had a 6-meter fairing out of the box. Like I said, Cope. 6.6-meter fairing out of the box. 25-ton payload capacity. And yeah, it was competing with Titan, and the Air Force went with Titan, even though it's crappier. They went with Titan because, it's my rocket. It's not the Army's rocket. Bro. Cope. Just cope. The Saturn 1B is quite literally made out of spare parts. If you look at the Saturn 1B's first stage, it's just a bunch of those strapped together. It's a Redstone. They're Redstone rockets, Redstone rocket fuel tanks, basically duct taped together around a Jupiter C core. That's what the Saturn 1B is. Yeah. It's just they use the tooling. They use the leftover tooling from those two rockets, right? And they just kerbled it. Just wrapped the boosters together. Want an abomination? Works. I found it interesting that Titan 4 core stage ignite after booster separation. Yeah, dude, cope. Yeah, cope. It's disgusting. 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 That is also what Snackless. Why? What were you thinking? What? Just what the hell is the point of this? If you're already going to scale up Atlas, right? If you're already going to scale up Atlas for a super heavy launch vehicle concept and use the SRB, use 4-segment SRBs next to it, why not make an 8.4 meter stainless core? Why? Why would you be cool with this like 5 meter core with 3.7 meter boosters attached to the side and whatever this coping mechanism is to the side is? Like, why? Why would you do this? Why would you do this? Why would you make this? You want another abomination. It... Nope. Yeah. How does this thing go up? Nova, how did you get this to go up? That's not nearly enough thrust. You would need 6 of these. Actually, you would need 8. Yeah, you would need 8 Delta Force CBCs to get this thing to go up. It wasn't you, it was Thomas. Anyway. Okay, cool. I think we got through everything. Saturn is infinitely superior to Titan, and I'm saying that as somebody that with a dog named Titan. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the space news today. That's going to do it for the Space and Rocket review. Guys, I'm just going to take one more day without doing after hours. Once again, I'm streaming only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm going to be in Florida for the 22.4 hours Les Mullets. Tomorrow we'll go back. Tomorrow, yeah. Actually, I might just nurse it this week. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. Either way, I will see you guys tomorrow at noontime. And we'll go from there. What about Ship 31? Ship 31 is rolling. Okay. I have such a bad migraine right now, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Ship 31's rolling, though. It is rolling. Hell yeah, brother. That's right. Yeah, I'm going to go lie down. I might take it easy for the 3 days this week, but there will be another Space and Rocket review tomorrow, and Ship 31 is rolling to the launch site in preparations for Flight 6, which is in a week. So, you better stay up there, you damn sick northerner. I'll be over it by Friday, going. Don't worry. Don't worry, man. Anyway. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. I will see you guys all tomorrow at noontime. And once again, it is November 11th. It is Veterans Day in the U.S. and Remembrance Day pretty much everywhere else. If you're out there and you served, I just want to say thank you. I did start the stream with this, but I want to end it too because I don't think veterans nowadays get the credit that they deserve. And I don't think they get the help that they deserve either, but that's another story. How much time you got? No. So as a civilian, just want to say got your back. And I appreciate it. Appreciate everything that you guys do for us to keep freedom Keep our freedoms free. That's right. No, seriously. Thank you very much. I appreciate what you do, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Have a good night.